Hi, everyone. Welcome to Assembly. If you can please take your seats so we can get started. I am Adriana Ross. I am with the Pathways to Success team, which is housed in Hagen Building, where you can find CASA, which is for tutoring, career services, and first-year experience. We have an amazing program planned for you guys. I think you'll find it very informative and fun. At this time, let us bow our heads so we can start with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to come together. We thank you for this day. We ask that you please be with each student as well as their families. I ask that you will be with our students and guiding them, Lord, through their college life. If they are carrying any kind of stress or anxiety, I ask that you will lift that, and that you will guide them through these coming days and throughout this year. Please be with us now and throughout this program, for we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Hello, everybody. I have a quick announcement. Next week, as you guys know, on Thursday, we're not going to be here. We're going to be on fall break. So our assembly is going to be on Tuesday, which is going to be our pep rally for all of our fall sports. And so I definitely want to invite you guys to come out for that. It's going to be starting at 12:45, so please come out to the gym. That's where we'll be having it. It's going to be celebrating our fall sports, which is soccer, volleyball, SWAT, and baseball. It's going to be celebrating like their seasons. I know some of them seasons are coming to an end, and just celebrating the upcoming tournaments they're going to be going to, Acrofest as well, and just postseason play in general. So please come out and support all of your athletes. There's going to be some games and also a chance for some prizes as well, not only for the athletes, but also for some of the crowd participants as well. So definitely come out. We want to encourage you guys to also wear as much SWAU gear as possible. We're having a whole night out, all right? So we want you guys to wear as much SWAU gear as you can to come and support. And just a quick announcement for the teams who will be participating in the pep rally. We're having a meeting in the gym at 5 p.m. today. So for the athletes who are participating, please come out so we can run through what we're going to be doing. So thank you.
Hello, dear students. How are you today? You look great since here. Now, I have some special announcement from the Student Financial Services Department for you. The first of all is that we are very happy to remind you and announce that the FAFSA application for the 23-24 academic year is already open. That means that the preparation for next school year, next academic year, have to start now. Remember that you have to apply as soon as possible, that you are going to need the tax return transcripts of your parents of 2021 to fill this application. So it is open. You can scan the code, and you can start doing the preparations for next year. It's very important to do it as soon as possible, okay? The next thing that is very important for us is we need you to take a look at your student account. Probably after registration, you get exhausted about that, and I totally understand. Me too. But now, you have to check your student account, and you are going to check even the classes that you are taking are correctly registered, that the amount of credit that you have, that you signed it for, is right there, that the amount of financial aid that you are expecting to receive is there, that everything is correct. If you identified something weird in your account, we need you to come to the office, okay? We want to serve you, but this is the time in which we can serve you better. At the end of the semester, close to the test, close to the exams, is going to be very difficult for us. So please come to the office if you don't understand something or you need some assistance. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.
So if you guys are a business student and you want to travel abroad, we are gonna have this Indonesian tour story for you guys. If you guys can see a lot of information on the slideshow. If you guys wanna have or want more information, please get in contact with Dr. Moses. So we're gonna get started. This one's a video, so Carlos, I don't know if you can play this for us, and then I can talk about it a little more afterwards. Okay, well, it looks like the video is currently not working, but so I want to introduce something to you guys that we started in our department, and it's called, it's a digital badge that you guys can earn online. This video is going to explain to you guys what it is and what it's all about. It's pretty much something, if you guys don't have any experience in the field that you want to go into, a lot of the skills that people are looking and that they want to do is people skills, which are called power skills as well. And they're going to teach you in that digital badge, you're going to learn about what employers are looking for. So if the video is not working, I don't know if it is. I hope it works. Okay, so I think Caleb just texted me. All right, the video is not working. So let me talk to you guys a little bit more about it. Here is some of the bullet points that we have for it. So what is a digital badge? It's a digital badge that is verified presentation on a specific learned skill that you can share on your social media profiles. There's a lot of different skills that you're gonna learn on there. They're very useful. You can add it to your LinkedIn profile and many other online platforms. It provides credibility for employers, and they can see that you guys have earned different skills with this. And you can also add this on your resume, so anytime you guys want to work with me with your resume, this is something that you guys can add as well. You guys may be asking, where can I find this digital badge? Well, this is going to be added to your Canvas course, and it is to your Canvas, and it's going to be added as a course. And you guys can just go on there and work the modules and get the certification. And then you guys can take at your own pace, do it at your own pace and at your own time. So if you guys are interested, this is gonna show up on your Canvas. It's totally free. You guys are not gonna get charged for this. And yeah, thank you guys for your time. And then now we're gonna have Glad come up and do an activity for you guys.
Thank you, Nestor. So how many of you enjoyed the Success Closet? Raise your hand if you were able to get some professional attire from the Success Closet. So we really appreciate everyone who came out to support. We had over 300 students, community members, and staff pass through the Success Closet, and we gave close to almost 1,500 pieces of clothes. So we're very happy. Let's give it a round of applause for all the volunteers who helped out. So thank you. So as many of you are aware, this month is Career Emphasis Month, meaning that the whole month of October, we're helping prepare you for October 26th. On October 26th, we have what we call the Paths Expo Career Fair, which is where we have employers from all over the community, people from other schools who come and recruit for grad school. So be prepared and make sure you use all the resources, kind of like today we're going to be talking about resume building. On the 20th, we're going to be talking about professionalism and how to carry yourself as a professional. And we're going to have a lot of other activities where you can just prepare for October 26th so that you land your dream job. So up next, we have a little activity. And in order for this to work, I need everyone to participate. Under the pews, we have a piece of paper that is taped. There's 20 papers. One of them, some of them, or half of them are going to look like this, and it says question. If you have one, they're all over the place. Not everyone's going to have one. So there's just 20. So if you have one that says question, I need you to come and form a line on this side, on my right side, which is your left side. If you have one that says answer, I need you to come up to the front and form a line and just bring it up here. Very simple. The people who bring a paper automatically get a prize. So just come right up. The people who bring a paper automatically get a prize. So question on this side, answer on this side. Question on this side, so we should have 10. I'm obviously missing some of answers more than questions. And in order for this to work out, I need all 20 people here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, missing 4 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, missing 2 answers. Make sure you come down. It's an automatic price. Automatic price. While we're waiting for the rest of y'all to come up, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, please get out your phone and scan the QR code. It is Paths, SWAU, and just follow us on Instagram. So are we still missing some answers or questions? We have 4. Look under your pews. They're there, I promise. How many answers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can do it since we have all the answers. So Daniela's question, everyone pay attention to your answers because we're going to try to match the question and the answer. Daniela's is, a cover letter is, does someone have the answer to what a cover letter is? Read it out.
Highlight your skills and work experience.
A cover letter? Are you sure that's a cover letter? Okay, that's not the one. That's close, though. We'll have a question for that one.
A letter sent to provide more information about the applicant.
Perfect. Give it a round of applause. Make sure y'all go to Adriana for your gift. Next question. You want to read it out? Sure.
What part of the resume tells employers what kind of work you're looking for?
What part of the resume tells employers what kind of work you're looking for? What part of your resume tells employers what type of work you're looking for? Anyone have any suggestions? The public can help. Okay, what does it say? No, it's not that one. Sorry. Come here. That is correct. Say it out loud.
Professional summary?
The professional summary. Professional summary. Make sure y'all get your prize. That can also be known as the objective.
What topics should be included on a resume?
Who has what topics should be included in your resume? Your answer should just have a list. What topics should be included in your resume?
Contact information, objective, education, experience, activity, skills, references.
That is correct. Go get your prize. Okay.
What is the last requirement of a cover letter?
What is the last requirement of a cover letter? That's not you. This is one word. If your answer has one word in it, then you're probably the one. The last requirement of any letter should be what?
Your signature.
Your signature. Your signature. Make sure you sign that letter.
What order should you list your education and work experience?
Great question. What order should you list your education and your experience, work experience? Does anyone have that one? Okay, maybe that's the one we have missing. No? No? Okay, so does anyone know what order you should list your experience? From what? Earliest to latest. That is correct. So choose someone to come get a prize, and then you can go get a prize.
You need a resume to...
Okay, are you ready for this one? You need a resume to
find a job position or apply to a college, university, or vocational school.
That is absolutely correct. Go get your prize. To find a job, an internship, or apply for college. One more.
How long should your resume be?
How long? Betty, how long should your resume be?
1 page, ideally.
1 page, ideally. Good job. Okay, guys, read me your answers, and I'll tell you what your question was.
You want me to read? Yeah, just read it. Highlight your skills and work experience.
What highlights your skills and work experience? Your what? Experience, okay. There's something else that highlights your, like in general, what are we talking about? Resumes, good job. What does yours say?
Research the field to know what skills, abilities, qualities will be most important.
Okay, so we should definitely research whenever we write a resume. We should research before we write it so we can target our resume to that certain industry or job. Perfect. Go get your prize.
Mine says grade point average.
What is grade point average? There's an abbreviation. What does that stand for? GPA. Good job. So go get your prize. Go get your prize. Let's give it a round of applause for everyone who participated. And just a little reminder, we have a lot of planners in our office. If you just want a free SWAU planner, stop by. It has the campus map on the back, the SWAU values, and all of our dates on there. So make sure you stop and get a free planner. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our speaker for today. And before I introduce him, I just want to share a brief story. I just got hired here. I'd been here about 3 to 4 months, and I was asked to teach a group of young professionals how to write a resume. And I was pretty new, and I was actually reading through the book called Resumes for Dummies, and I was probably the dummy. And I was looking around, I was like, man, who can I talk to? Who would be a professional and an expert in this area? And I found in our own campus that we have a guru when it comes to writing resumes. Many of you may know him. He's a professor in our Department of Psychology. John Carlo, if you want to come on up and share with us. And we're just so excited that you're here with us today.
All right. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well. So as Austin said, I'm a professor here at SWAU in the psychology department. I'm currently teaching industrial psychology and habits for success. So where are my people at? I've seen some of you. Yeah, all right, I see you. All right. And so I'm also a certified professional resume writer. And so when I'm not in campus teaching, I do spend a lot of time helping people out with their resumes. And so I'm subcontracted by Indeed. You probably use the their site to search for jobs. And basically, they have services where we can write resumes for people from scratch. We can provide reviews. So basically, that means that I record a video telling you things that you should adjust, and then you do them yourself. And we also do live consultations. So more or less like a career advice type of deal. And so, yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. And so Nestor approached me this time around to talk a little bit about resumes. So that's what we're here for today. And actually, if I can have the clicker, that'd be easier. Thank you. And so, yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit about resumes, their importance, some do's and don'ts. And maybe at the end, if we have time, perhaps we can open things up for questions. All right? Okay, so our basic goals today. So obviously, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the resume. What is it? Why is it important? Things that you should be doing, not doing, and then maybe some formats, layouts, types, things to look out for. What is it that a resume is then? We just did an activity about it, right? We know that it's a document where you talk about your career, where you talk about your education, etc. But really, it works as a bridge between yourself, who you are, and some organization that you want to join. And often, that will be the only connection that you have to that company, right? So a decision will be made off of a piece of paper as to if you're going to be brought on or not. And so, that tells you the importance of this document. And so it works as a marketing tool where you sell yourself. And so I want to do a brief activity with you. So I'm going to step down here, and I want to talk to some people here. I'm a man of the people, so I want to be with the people. And let me see, who do I know around here? No eye contact? Or maybe who don't I know so that we can get to know them, right? All right. I see someone I know here. All right. Kaylee, I want to talk to you. Let me go around this side. All right. So the idea here will be that you have to introduce yourself, and you have to make a good impression for all the folks here that maybe don't know you. So just introduce yourself. If you can introduce yourself and try to make a good impression on the good people here of SWAU. I'm going to hold the microphone if you don't mind. Go ahead.
Hello. My name is Kaylee Gonzalez. Thank you. I am a freshman.
Okay, time is up. Thank you. That was a good effort. Give it up. Give it up for Kaylee. All right. I feel like she did a good job, yes. All right, let's see. Who else? Who else could I talk to? We have someone here in their phone, so maybe. All right. All right. See, that kind of made you a target. All right. So, same idea. Introduce yourself and try to make a good impression as fast as you can. All right? Go ahead.
I'm Kaylee Turner. I'm a freshman. I'm on the volleyball team. I transferred here from another college.
Time is up. All right. Now. Yeah, give it up. Yeah. Good. Thank you. All right. So, before people start thinking, well, that professor's so rude, I'm never going to take a class with him. Like, why did he do that? It's estimated that a hiring manager spends about 6 seconds looking at a resume before they determine, are we going to move forward with this person or not? And so that's why we did that, right? You have to make an impression quickly, right away, otherwise it's going on the discard pile. All right, so imagine, again, how important it is that this document be as it should be. You know, make a good impression right away. And so, generally speaking, resumes have 4 parts: header, summary, experience, and education. But really, there shouldn't be a cookie-cutter approach to this. What I mean by that is that not everything, the feedback that I may provide in an individual is not something that may necessarily work for the next person. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. There are 2 main things that I want to speak to in relation to this idea of no cookie-cutter approach. First, makes me think of templates. And so we've all probably seen resumes like this, yes? How many of you have a resume that looks like that or somewhat like that? Yeah, I see some hands, okay. Well, these resumes, or these templates rather, are trouble because there's a thing out there called an ATS, an applicant tracking system. Have we heard about that? It's basically the software that companies use to scan documents, right? And so usually companies get hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants, so they have to come up with a way to scan through all those documents. A computer does that. And so that computer is going to be looking for keywords, and whoever has the most keywords in their resume usually moves on in the hiring process. We're going to talk about keywords later. But going back to the template, these ATSs have a very difficult time scanning tables and text boxes. And guess what? These very sleek, modern, cool-looking resumes often rely on tables and text boxes. And so a usual indication of a table is that split side-by-side style. That's usually an indication that there's a table somewhere in there. An indication of a text box is you click in an area and immediately you can start typing. That's an indicator of a text box there. And so if, again, your resume has those elements, chances are that the information is either going to get deleted in many ways or in many areas. It could get rearranged. It changed the context. It could get garbled. So we don't want to use this style of resume. The other thing to look out for here are pictures. Images also mess up ATSs. They can't read images. So you shouldn't have an image on your resume because of that. And also, it opens things up, to a whole can of worms. Usually, discrimination nowadays is a thing. And so people see an image of you, and they might think, well, this person is to this, or this person is to that. So don't open yourself up to that unless you're applying for some sort of modeling job, acting, or anything along those lines. Then, it would be appropriate to have a picture. So if you're submitting an application online, don't use these type of resumes. If you're maybe going to a physical career fair, then perhaps that would be appropriate because you want people to remember your face. But otherwise, I would say stay away from those type of resumes. Now, let's go back. Nope, so it should have been this one, but that's all right. As I said, the other aspect that we have to worry about here, or not worry about, but rather the cookie-cutter approach. So generally speaking, we should have at least those 4 sections. For some people, it might be beneficial to have additional sections. And so we can talk about extracurricular activities, personal interests, just fun facts about you. Again, that may or may not apply to your situation. And so let me tell you a story, and this is something I've shared here before. When I was a career counselor way back when, I had an individual who came in with a resume that said that he was a plane crash survivor. And so you might think, what does that have to do with anything? I mean, that has nothing to do with job-related skills, but it's interesting. It's what it is. No? I mean, at least I found it interesting when I first read it. I'm like, well, I want to know more about this. And to this day, and this happened about 5 years ago, I still remember that individual, the plane crash survivor. So there are certain things that may be interesting about you that could make for a good conversation starter, or could make for making you memorable in the mind of a hiring manager. So again, if you have interesting things like that, do we have any other plane crash survivors in the room? No? No, so yeah, I mean, that's an example of what that could look like. Another thing to look out for, interest, for instance. Also got to be careful with those, because unfortunately nowadays people tend to stereotype. And so if you participate in certain activities, it may be that certain traits may be immediately associated for you. And so, you know, that could work to your advantage or disadvantage. I would say avoid polarizing issues such as politics, religion. If you maybe campaigned for, you know, Texas for Trump or whatever, you know, that's one thing that in some circles could earn you a lot of points, but in others, it could take away a lot of points. And so what I usually recommend is, if you can do a little bit of research, if you know who's going to be receiving the document, or who's going to be, you're maybe going to be meeting for an interview or anything like that, you can maybe stalk them online and see if they have revealed some information that can tell you, well, you know, what kind of information might they be more receptive to, all right? And so perhaps that could give you some guidance in that sense. I had a lady once, she had some information about how when she was younger, she used to go around with her family recruiting for a commune. So they used to live in this community and they had a certain leader, and she was talking about that on her resume. I found it kind of interesting, and I did a simple Google search on the leader of that community, and it turned out to be a convicted sex offender. I mean, they had accused him of all kinds of things, and he was actually in prison for it. And so you can imagine that association and actively recruiting for a convicted sex felon would not be a good thing to have on your resume. So always look out for those little things that can maybe trigger people to one side or the other. It could put you, again, at an advantage or a disadvantage. Now, as I said, 4 basic sections. So let's go over those 4 sections and what should or should not be included there. Now, the heading. And so that sounds pretty basic, right? It should have your name, your address, your phone number, your email. I would say don't forget to have it if your resume happens to be more than 1 page in length, which at this point, I don't think any of you should have a resume that's longer than 1 page. But if it were the case, make sure that you include your contact information in that second page as well, because what happens is resumes get printed off, and sometimes they come apart, the pages, and then I don't know whose resume is this, right? So be on the lookout for that. Maybe if you post your resume to a job board or one of these websites, maybe don't include your address or your phone number, because chances are that you're going to start getting random calls from random companies that you're probably not interested in. And so watch out for that. And also email. Make sure that you have an appropriate email. Sometimes I've seen very interesting things out there, to say the least. I had a lady one who her email was, "I hate my job at something." And so I don't know, I'm hoping that she was teasing at that moment, but you never know. So certainly watch out for that. All right, so then after that, we have the summary or profile. And sometimes people talk about objectives. So objectives used to be a best practice in resume writing, but that is no longer the case. Now, instead of talking about what you hope to gain from gaining an opportunity, it's all about what you have to offer, okay? So this should be more of a summary of your skills and your qualifications, and it should be targeted to the specific job that you're applying for. And so a simple activity that you can do is you can look at the job posting, and if they're talking about, well, we're looking for people that have experience in customer service, then you can say that you're a customer service professional with X amount of years of experience. We're looking for someone that knows how to deal with computers and software, X, Y, and Z. Then you can say that you're a technically savvy individual, proficient in the use of all the different software that they're mentioning there, or that that would be useful in the industry. And so that's the basic idea. Think of it as a checklist. You're looking at the job posting and you're making sure that you're checking off every box of what the company is asking for or requesting. Very important, so try to avoid verbiage like you are a student or that you are a recent graduate. And the reason why I say that is because that places you coming from a position of what you don't have, what you lack, which is experience. Instead, try and frame it as formally trained in or formally trained as. And that places you coming from a position of power, what you do have. I have formal experience, all right? So we're highlighting what we do have instead of what we don't. So also watch out for that. All right. As I mentioned, this system, the applicant tracking system, will be looking for keywords. And it's essentially terms that are associated to that specific industry, that specific role, which you're applying for. And so, for example, an accountant, well, cost accounting, budget analysis, tax would be examples of what those keywords are. Again, the job posting is going to be key in determining some of those keywords. There's a lot of clues in there. So some of the things that you can do, I already mentioned one. Make sure that you're basically checking off everything that they are talking about, provided that you have it. The other thing that you can do is you can generate a word cloud out of the posting itself. So copy the entirety of the posting, and then Google search word cloud generator, paste that in there, and you're going to get an idea of which words are being mentioned the most on the posting. And so chances are that those will be keywords that the company is looking for. And so all you got to do is kind of plug them in a way that makes sense. Now, for some of you that maybe want to try to cheat the system, because I've seen this happen, we have people that they have a bunch of keywords, they put them on the resume, and basically they put them with invisible ink, so to speak, right? There's no color to the keywords. And so you're kind of trying to be sneaky about, well, the system is going to pick up on it, but no one's going to see it. But if you get caught doing that, that is not a practice that is looked well upon. So I would not recommend that, and I would equate it to, you have to write a paper, and you're just blabbing away trying to reach the amount of pages without any rhyme or reason, right? We don't want to do that. So definitely avoid that. And so, yeah, this basically speaks to what I just mentioned. make sure that you look at the job description, the job posting, and use word cloud generators. Now, the next section, employment history. So basically, make sure that you have your dates, employment dates there, the name of the company, their location, and the job title. Something I will say about this, if you happen to have very short tenure jobs that go over the a span of a single year, look out for that. Because if you have multiple of those, it could be perceived as a red flag by hiring managers. In the sense that, well, this person is job hopping, or this person can't maintain a job. Something must be wrong there, right? So look out for that. Sometimes, if you have a job, and by the way, you only need to include the years. There's no need for the months or specific dates. If you can maybe make the jump without there being a gap in between, it might work best to your advantage to leave jobs out, as long as there's no gap that can be perceived in between, okay? So if you have a job that goes from 2017 to 2018, and then you have another job that went from 2018 to 2018, maybe you can leave the 2018 one out, because you already have 2018 accounted for in that other job. Does that make sense? Yeah? Kinda? All right, I see some nodding heads, so hopefully it's not that people are falling asleep. Okay. Now, in relation to the employment history, once we have all that information of where is it that we were, what is it that, or title, etc., underneath that, you should have some information that not only goes into your responsibilities, but also the accomplishments. What is it that you actually did? As a hiring manager, I'm not so much interested in knowing what you were hired for, because technically speaking, from the job title, a lot of it's already implied. So I don't need to know that as a server you were taking food to people and their drinks or whatever. I already know that. I want to know how you made a difference while you were there. And so let's say that maybe you helped train new hires, facilitating their transitions into new roles. Okay, well, I like that. You were helpful. That helps the company, that helps your teammates. That's good stuff. If you don't have anything like that, because sometimes we get caught up with the idea that, well, I've never done anything that's like super measurable, anything that's really impactful. It's not really about big things. It's about framing things positively. So if you were greeting clients with a smile as soon as they enter the establishment, making sure that they feel welcomed and acknowledged, all right, so that's a good way to frame a regular daily duty, but again, you're framing it positively in an impactful way. So always place yourself performing some kind of action, talk about that specific thing that you did, and then what happened. How was that thing that you did helpful in some kind of way? Okay? All right. Then we talk about the education. So evidently, certifications, trainings could also fall into that if they are relevant. If you are CPR certified, but you're not going to be expected to provide that type of support to people, why do I need to know that? Why would that occupy space on your resume? Use that space for something else that will be relevant and significant. Even if we haven't completed our education, we can still include it on the resume. It can be as expected completion date, or if for whatever reason, God forbid, you decide that college is not for you or whatever, you can still include it on your resume. You can still say credits towards, and then you mention the degree. And it's important to have that on your resume, that you have a bachelor's, an associate's, whatever, or that you're working towards that, because that tends to be a requirement for jobs. And so that it's usually a keyword that the companies will be looking for. So make sure that you include it. I see it often, people just say that they have attended college, but then they miss what kind of degree is it. Don't do that, because again, it's one of those important things employers will be looking for. All right, couple more things. Some considerations. When you're gonna save your document and you're gonna submit it, the type of file makes a difference. Again, we go back to the applicant tracking systems. They have a difficult time, or at least some of them have a difficult time reading PDFs. So if you have an option to upload a Word document or a PDF, I would always recommend going with the Word version as a way to play it safe, okay? Unless, again, the company has determined that it should be another type of file, and then that means that they're not gonna have an issue scanning it. Finally, we have the reference sheet, and references should not go on your resume. That is a pet peeve of mine as a resume writer. I don't like that. It shouldn't go there, and so when I see that, it's like, ugh. So that goes on a separate sheet, and also no need to say that references will be provided upon request. That is a given. If you're applying for a job and I ask you for references, you will give them, right? So no need to even mention that, okay? And so, yeah, and make sure that you ask permission to place people on your reference sheet. Because sometimes what happens is that we call people and, surprise, you know, this wasn't a very good reference that we're receiving. So make sure that you check in with your folks before you include them there. And so that's about it. That's all I have. Those are general considerations and some basic situations that I've noticed that often pitfalls and such that maybe we get ourselves in. So I want to allow maybe for questions, if there are any questions. I don't know if we have time for that. Maybe one question. Any questions at all? Caitlin. You want the microphone? Should I? No? If I can help? Well, like I said, you can go through Indeed and then, no, I'm kidding. I mean, I'd be open to giving you pointers. You know, I wouldn't say necessarily rewrite the whole thing or anything like that. But yeah, I'd be happy to give you some ideas of things that you could do, for sure. So if any of you, the tsunami of people. No, if any of you feel the need or you know, would want some feedback, I'd be happy to provide it. All right, so you can reach out either now or maybe send me an email, jcfernandez@swau.edu. Okay? Anyone else? Anything else? Are we good here? All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, for your attention. Appreciate it. And yeah, I guess I'll see you around.
And I'm also helping with resumes here at SWAU, so if you guys need help with the resume. I'm located in Hagen Hall. I know he's a busy man, so this is literally my job for you guys. So if you guys need any help with the resume, I'm in Hagen Hall. Thank you guys for coming, and you guys are dismissed.